I'm 680 News senior business editor Mike Eppel. Well, we wrapped up the month of January on the markets, and Wall Street outperformed again. In fact, it's been up 10 months in a row for the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and that is the longest such string of gains dating back to 1959. For the month, the Dow Jones Industrials Average up by about 6%, and the NASDAQ, the tech-heavy sector of the market, up by more than 7%. And you compare and contrast, and it's been doing what it's been doing versus the TSX, which was down in the first month of this year by 1.5%. The U.S. market certainly getting a boost from tax cuts plus a stronger U.S. economy. All of this trumpeted by U.S. President Donald Trump in the State of the Union address on Tuesday evening. Donald Trump also talking about defense spending, and that was a boost to Boeing, which today reported its quarterly earnings, and those numbers were already stellar. This company is now the largest industrial company in the United States by market value. It recently passed General Electric, the traditional heavyweight. Boeing shares in the past year up 125%. Today they hit another record high with a gain of more than 6%. This stock is one of the key components of the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and talked a lot in its conference call about getting more spending from the U.S. government on defense projects. The Canadian economy had a good month of November. In fact, it matched all the estimates with a growth rate of 0.4% for economic output, with manufacturing on the rebound again. And the Canadian economy for 2017 on pace for a growth rate of about 3%, which would lead the G7. Now, of course, already this month, the Bank of Canada has raised interest rates by 0.25%. And analysts are saying that it's probably now wait and see until the summer before we start talking about another interest rate hike by the Bank of Canada. A lot of things changed at the start of this year. New mortgage rules and restrictions. We've seen debt loads climb and more pressure on Canadian consumers on that front, and the ongoing NAFTA negotiations. Plus, they probably want to wait and see what the U.S. Federal Reserve is going to do next with interest rates going into the springtime. Amazon.com. What can we say about this company other than its stellar performance? It hit another record high today ahead of its quarterly earnings update that'll be in tomorrow. How much money is Amazon making, or rather putting back into the company to grow even further? It has been hitting record upon record on its market valuation. Jeff Bezos, the CEO and founder, is the world's most wealthiest man at this point, and it doesn't look like that's slowing down anytime soon. The big question is, what is next for Amazon? Well, yesterday, it talked about getting into the healthcare industry in the United States, which sent its stock price that much higher. Apple will also be reporting earnings on Thursday, and some interesting commentary ahead of those numbers from some analysts who think that the iPhone 10 or iPhone sales in general may have plateaued on a sales basis. It's a gutsy call considering that Apple has consistently outperformed. Its stock recently has pulled back from a record high, around $166 per share at the close today. And Bitcoin is ending the month below $10,000 US. Remember, a month ago it was almost $20,000? Well, a lot of governments have been cracking down on cryptocurrency exchanges, and Facebook taking steps to ban get-rich-quick schemes in cryptocurrencies, specifically focused on Bitcoin and others. As a result, Bitcoin prices dropping again in today's trading. From the 680 newsroom, I'm Mike Eppel for City News.